I want to put together a small video this morning, which is almost a little bit of a word of warning because I am seeing a lot of very alarming situations developing in the board director market. We have a plethora of business models now in the market offering board director type training services, business matching services, education courses, and they've all sprung up in the last 5 years. And the common mantra from these organisations is, do this course and you can serve on the board of directors. And unfortunately, what I'm seeing is a lot of people getting swept up in the marketing. They're getting swept up in, investing quite large amounts of money in training and education to serve on the board of directors when fundamentally they did not have the right skills, qualifications, level of seniority to really seriously be considered for board appointments. There are even business models now in the market where they're telling secretaries and trade people and all sorts of people who have had no responsibility for company finances, no responsibility for the legalities in the company. And they're telling them they can serve on the board of directors. And it's giving people false hope. It's giving people incorrect information. And it's really setting people up for incredible failure and huge levels of disappointment. I had a lady the other day who had been encouraged to do the company director course. And, she was at a very, very junior to mid-level ranking executive. She did not have the right skills and qualifications to serve in the boardroom and yet had been told, do this course and suddenly you're going to get onto the board. And, I had to do a reality check with this individual and say, look, you might be better off focusing on your, executive pathway, securing a more senior role in the company, take on P&L responsibility, etc., etc. And this advice didn't sit very well because, they've been told something completely the opposite. And it's really, really sad. And I'm really quite disturbed and alarmed by it because there is just so much of it now going on. And every second meeting I'm having with someone who's, gone off and made a huge investment in, formal qualifications, but the fundamentals weren't right. And I'm having to do the reset at my end. And it's, it's really disappointing for some people because there's an absolute paradigm here. Only a certain percentage of people will secure board appointments, and they have typically served at very senior levels in the company for 10 plus years. They're not Johnny-come-latelys. They're not people who have served in the junior ranks of the business, suddenly serving on the board of directors, the highest position in the company and the most responsible position in the company. The fiduciary responsibilities, the legal responsibilities, the financial responsibilities are off the charts. The risks are enormous. And yet, people have been sold this kind of marketing dream that if you just do this course, you're going to have this wonderful, gravy train board director career. So, look, I just really counsel you, if you've been told things by certain individuals, just go and do a cross-check. Be super careful the advice that you take. Make sure you do have the right level of experiences before you go and invest in these courses. And just remember, it's not for everyone. This is a really, really serious and, complex career pathway. Not everyone has to serve on the board of directors to have had a successful corporate life. There's a lot of people who walk the other way, who don't want the stress, don't want the heartache, don't want the responsibility that comes with serving at the highest level. Because when you're serving at the highest level, you're taking on all the legal and the financial responsibility for that enterprise. And it's a huge responsibility. So just be really, really careful about the advice you're taking. Be careful about investing in courses before your time, before it's appropriate, and don't fall for the marketing trap, because there's a lot of models now that are predicated on if you spend this money, you're going to suddenly have this magical board career, and the realities are quite different. And it's really quite alarming the number of people now that are coming to me who've been given quite poor advice. So we just need to do a bit of a reality check here, and just make sure that everything's lining up. And by all means, drop into my diary for complimentary board career assessment. I will give you the straight talk. I will will tell you whether or not you have what it takes to make it as a board director and where your skills may apply, and where you may have gaps and where you may need to concentrate on for the next few years before you embark on a board director career.